money grind. We need the Madness of Yeenoghu, which is it down here? It is, okay. 750. 750 is where we're going. What's this look? Okay. Oh, it's everybody that's shown here. Okay. Right. Does Shandy first? Cinchman BBG. Come on. Brave. There we go. Okay. We'll double everybody up. Hey, Dance Lover. Now we're gonna eventually have to change this formation when we get higher, because this will not take us all the way there. It does not have the damage to push through past like 600 and something. So once we get there, we'll swap over, and then we'll add like a medium speed potion probably. Because I don't know that we could do this whole thing on one speed potion. That was a lot of advertising things up there. While we're doing that, okay, well then now that that's set up, let's go over here. And set up our new background party. Did you notice how it used all the ultimates? That was weird. Okay, so this was Dritz solo. That was what we were doing for Mert. Now we're gonna go do Vajra. For Vajra, we're gonna need Delina DPS. Great. I don't think she can function as well solo. That might have to be an overnight. Well, they're all gonna suck. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to lower our reset goal. So Delina DPS for Vajra. Hey, Texag. Yeah. Let's see, do I have a automation? Grand Tour, Vajra. Do I have a Delina DPS? I do. Okay, but I think we're gonna have to set it to 30. Don't think she can go to 69. Because usually the way we end up at 69 is because we're doing click damage, which is going to clear the waves, but Delma's attacks may not do that. I don't know. Actions, beast enemies, humanoids, undead. We'll have to do undead with this group overnight. Okay, that should work. It should work. Taxes paid. Alright, so next up, let me check for Electrum codes. Let me load these up here. I'll go check for Electrum codes. Alright. And then we'll open any silver and gold chests we have. Once again, folks, the Affairs of Wizards is set up supposedly starting tomorrow. I know we were gonna start last Wednesday, and life happened. actually have some promo art for it now. I should post it in my Discord later. Everything. We have 2 versions of these. What are you doing? We will wait on that as someone just pointed out they put that on. Oh. Large potion of speed. Hey, from our silvers. That starts out well. And a medium potion and a small potion. Look, that's everything we could want from some silvers, right? And a feat for Azaka, gold find. This is going well. It's going well. Was. And then it stopped. Why did it stop going well? No Tarrasques in Affairs of Wizards? I have no idea. I didn't make it. There might be. You'd have Tarrasque. Steven. Oh, Jesus. You did that, Star Chaser. You made that happen. Yep. It's all your fault. Oh, horrible pun. Well, I don't know that whole channel point thing. I think that might be for different games. I don't know that that has to do with this. I was given no heads up that they might drop Tarrasques on us from channel points. So I'm going to say that I don't know that is this for this game, but maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Hail hydrate. Very well might happen, Texag. Look, I mean, I think even without a Tarrasque, I think TPK Session 1 might be a thing, considering we're all level 1. Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. I did not... I stayed away from the interview. They were like, do you want to come on the stream? And I'm like, no, go ahead and talk spoilers. I'll stay away. So, yeah. Well, hydrating and stretching are the answer to life, the universe, and everything, right, Mr. Bond? Not really. When all else fails. Are we talking spoilers today? Well, we were talking the Affairs of Wizards, the D&D game that I'm going to be in. hopefully starting tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacifically speaking, until 9 p.m. 6 to 9. It's a very nice stream. Come by, right? I'm waiting for them to update. They created some promo art, but they put PST, which I don't think it is PST right now, which is why I usually say Pacifically speaking, because then look, whatever the Pacific time zone is in, whether it's, then it's accurate. Yeah, it's supposed to run 10 episodes. From my understanding, there might be a couple off weeks during that. So expect about 3 months of D&D. Yeah, but it's PDT. Right. So that's why I'm like, I just say Pacifically speaking. I used to say CNE time, but people didn't know what CNE time was. But I coined CNE time way back in the day. And now I just say Pacifically speaking. I never remember when is it when is it D and when is it S, and I guess it's D is the summer and S is the winter, which is backwards in my mind because S should be for sun and D should be for darkness, and it doesn't seem to be how they do it. But no, it's supposed to be daylight, and the other is standard, but yeah, that just seems silly. Oh, I'm supposed to write up I know what Bandy looks like. Supposed to give visual clues for first impression. So. I played with these creators before. No, I don't think I have. Hold on. I'm like, well, I'm up. Let me check.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our...
There's like one person I don't think. Yeah, no. So they weren't. That person didn't make it for that. So we're fine.
Okay. Viewers to.
Don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. The internet names aren't matching up from the people I played with before. Okay, so let's see. Visual clues. First impression. How did I end up doing this collab? They reached out. Yang reaches out every now and then to see if I want to do D&D stuff. I'm always up for some fun. I showed up once, like, to one of their streams when they were doing basically an anyone can pop in thing where they were doing job interviews, which was kind of fun. But it's like as if they were hiring for their crew, like in their city and their main campaign. And anyone that wanted could like hop into the Discord and like you could queue up and come on, just voice, and they would basically interview your character for the job. Which is my only claim to fame of having been on the same stream as Ed Greenwood, because he hopped in early on and and interviewed. I think it was with Elminster. So I interviewed with Garwar. I brought Garwar on the stream, and then yeah, it was fun. But then they had me on for Bust My Lair with Keith Amon, which was, yeah, that was a blast. And that was with Roz and oh god, I just looked at everybody. Yang played in that one. I think we had Lauren. No, Lauren was in Second Breakfast Club. That's right. We had Roz, Yang, and Eric. Eric's got to be. So it was the four of us and Keith that basically was trying to murder us. And then the next year I came back and I did for two things: Second Breakfast Club in a Monster Hit, and that was Keith Amon again, but with an all halfling thing. And that was with Lauren and Roz again, Steven. So I have played with Steven, but I played with Steven. I haven't had him as a DM. And then Caustic Phoenix. And then right after that, I played in Infinities on the Go, which was Trevor DMing, and that was with Mars and Lauren and Allie. Allie is like Allie and Trevor do a podcast together, and then Allie used to play in our Storytellers Mars Presents games with me and Trevor, with Mars DMing, and then it was we had Lee Goldberg, and then for a couple of episodes we had Robogoblin, TTRP Gibbs. So that was why we said it was basically Storyteller Mars Presents takes over Dungeon Scrawler. Stream would have been mirrored on my channel? No, it's going to be over on the Dungeon Scrawlers channel. In fact, we have a command. D&D! There you go. Hey, Shevnik. Let's see here. It'll be interesting. So Steven, I've played alongside with as a player, but he is going to be DMing this. And I haven't played with any of the other players. So it will be an adventure. It will be an adventure. Okay, so I'm trying to do visual impressions, visual clues, first impression. Basically, I need to describe what Bandy looks like in a narrative way. Bandy's about 4 feet tall. Oh wait, I haven't. Hold on, I don't need to do this. I have one of these. I just need to tweak it a bit. What am I doing? Why am I recreating the wheel? Let me find. Stop it. There we go. Okay. I just need to tweak this. Oh, Jesus, that did not. That was not right. No. Hey. Bandit stands roughly 4 feet tall. I'm going to remove the reference to what his class is, because I don't know that you would tell just by looking at him what he does. I think that's the point. I mean, you could tell. I mean, he's he stands roughly 4 feet tall and is muscled and thick, like every good dwarf should be. Diggity. Wait, muscled and thick. All right. Need a shirt with that on it. Yeah, in my YouTube playlist, there's VODs of. I keep VODs of the charity stuff and everything else. Surprise for the party! Boom! Magic. Yeah. He often wears a knitted cap to keep his bald head warm at night, since it's usually when he's out and about, but doffs it on those rare occasions he's outside during the day. His noticeable brown eyebrows match his eyes, but stand at odds with his large gray-white beard that covers the rest of his face and extends down his chest. That's still, it's still valid. His eyes constantly wander about his surroundings, even when fully engaged in conversation. This is not a disinterest or boredom, as some presume, but instead tell the tale of a life filled with painful lessons learned from not being fully aware of his surroundings at all times. Along with his black net cap, he wears black on black dwarven robes, black leather boots, and black gloves with straps wrapped around his forearms. He carries a blacked out pack on his back and keeps his fire-charred quarterstaff with him at all times. Yeah, I mean, that's it. On his left hip is a burnt leather-bound tome with a blacksmith hammer design on the front. And then I take off the other part because he doesn't have that yet. Is he a goth? The panty's a goth. No, not really. He's a street urchin, and he's a thief. He's a thief by profession, but not by class? Those are two different things. Okay, so I'm going to change this. Appearance. Okay. Now we have the leather. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now let me see how well that matches up with what they want. They want ancestry, profession, or background. Some kind of clues to that. I mean, you can tell he's a dwarf. There's kind of clues to him being a finger waggler based off the robes and the tome and a quarterstaff. Gear and condition of gear. He wears well worn and patched black on black dwarven robes. Got black leather boots and worn. We need some other. Does he have a pack? Hold on, I just realized. Does he have a pack? Yes, he has a backpack. Okay. Slightly changed. Okay. Better descriptions of the fact that his gear is not high quality. It is old and worn out. Oh, we're on it, but that's fine. Clothing style: conservative, edgy, tailored, rustic. Discarded, I think would be his clothing style. He found them in dumpsters, probably. I don't know. Hygiene. Not sure. Like, what did you tell? I mean, he would look. He's not like hygiene. He's not. It's not like he's freshly, like fresh faced from wash. Like he lives on the street, so he's probably a little. I don't know how to describe that. He's not freshly washed. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call him unkempt. Like, his beard is going to be. His beard is, combed out and he takes care of it, but he's not clean. But he's not like filthy. But he's camouflaged. But I don't know how to. I don't want to. It's not like he's got camo paint on or something. He lives on the street. He can't, for survival, he can't look clean and manicured and wear good clothes or have anything that looks like it's expensive about him, because he'll get rolled. A group will roll up on him, beat him, and take what he has. Like, the only way he survives is by appearing like he has nothing. Yeah. Time I have Humon and Karlach in the event heroes. Okay, should I aim for a team composition for all the split the party? So you're doing split the party to get your Modron core? You don't even need, like, you can use. I have a guide for that. You can just use your core champions mostly. You don't have to. Why is that? What are you, J-Dog, what are you trying to take people to? Because it's trying to take me somewhere in Discord, and I don't necessarily. Oh, that's what you. That did not. Okay. What the hell is the. Oh, that's a beard. I feel like the beard should be. Why is the beard on the back? I don't understand that. I don't understand. Yeah. Well, camouflage is the proper term. He is camouflaged. He is dressed to blend into his surroundings and not be noticed. That's I mean, that's camouflage. It's just not. He has urban camouflage on, but not the military kind, right? He has the urchin kind, the kind that makes you look forgettable. And he's not undercover because he's not rich and wealthy and well-to-do or anything. He's literally living that life. Oh, you need to know what heroes to start to get. Well, that just depends. Like that's not. Like we can't tell you specific heroes. What you have to look at, Tarm, is so you have Human and you have Karlach. You should also have Hitch. Hitch should be in right over here with Delana in slot 8, which you get by signing up for the newsletter. And then this event should get you. You can go unlock Duke Ravengard also in 8, Esmeralda in 1. And then you would start looking at the other slots. So 2 and 3. 3 would have you could pick up BBEG from this event in 3. That's good. Speed champion. You could pick up Merylwyn in slot 2. If you don't have anyone in slot 2, I don't think based off what you just said, you don't. Merylwyn would be a good early pickup for slot 2. What else would be good early on in this event? I mean, Shaka in 9, maybe. You could have Nova, you could have Dungeon Master. Either one of those works too. But I would say, BBEG because they're a speed champion and it's just going to help you complete content faster. Merylwyn because they're a gold find champion. You need the gold find to build favor. It lets you do things easier and faster. And then you could pick if you want either Nova or Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master is not going to be super useful to you until you start doing more restrictive variants and have more options. But yeah, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to figure out like how do you pick champions to fill in those to give yourself swaps in those slots. I'm gonna say his face appears. Okay, I think I got that there. Physique, well, we already covered that. He's thick. Who would the player cast to play the character in a film? I mean, me. I would play them in a film. Right? I mean, that's straightforward. Come on. I would play them. Why would I pick anybody else? I don't know. Is there an actor that would look somewhat like me? I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. Okay, that's good. I think we're done. We should be ready to go. Do your own stunts? Well, that's the thing. He wouldn't have to. He's a finger waggler. There are no stunts. So sure. I used to have a shirt that says I do all my own stunts. And it was a picture of someone like tripping and falling, right? But people would literally, I would go out and people would go, are you really a stuntman? No. Like, that's what you get from a shirt with a stick figure that's tripping and falling on it? Like, I don't understand. What? Spritz only learned the American version of thick from The Simpsons. Homer is thick? Really? Is Homer thick? I don't know. I guess everybody's gonna have their own kind of take on thick. I think of more as like he's short. Look, he's 4 feet tall. Dwarves are thick, like literally, like they're stocky. Like they're not thin, wiry framed elves. Like I feel like dwarves are the classic thick. Like there's nothing about them that's thin. But it's usually there's, it's muscled and sure there might be some fat, but that's for like, stored energy. But usually you're like, it's used to describe him in The Simpsons, really? All right, sure. I know it's an animated cartoon. I don't know how well that describes what people are supposed to describe. I don't know. Homer's not thin. I'll give you that. That's more Mr. Burns and what's his creepy sidekick's name? I don't know. They're definitely thin. So yeah, sure. Smithers. Yeah, that's it. Smithers. Yeah, I haven't watched The Simpsons in a long time. I used to watch it a lot. Stopped. Oh, we never spent gems. Time to spend gems. Medium potion of speed. Second, I thought it was a double epic. Alright. Sure, I got an epic. That's full epic for her. Another one down. Another one down. Medium potion of speed. Beat. Charisma for sure. Medium potion of speed. Care more about that. Alright. So. Nice. We are one step closer. 5. We have 5 champions left that need an epic. That's it. 5. That's 50 chests. 50 gold chests or less. 50 gold chests or less. Which is what? 25,000 gems? That's not much, right? Yeah, 25,000. So the last conversation they had about the alchemy system was that it wasn't. It was like maybe second on the priority list, second or third on the priority list. If I remember correctly. I mean, we could ask about like where does it fall on the priority list, or, but I don't think it's. It didn't seem like it was the next thing. It seemed like Champion Search was what was coming next, because that was the last time we heard about it. And it seemed like the alchemy system was further down the line, though they did feel that once they got to it, it would be done pretty quickly. Yeah, I think the new champion profile thing is up next. And I would say that's... I know people want this stuff out quickly, but we're already in the summer. It seems like the champion profile is what they're working on now, and I would say that's... Knowing how they usually release things, if we just got Champion Search... The fall, maybe? For the champion profile? Unless they just get it out real quick. Unless they're closer to being done than we think. I would think either winter or... I hate to say it, winter or spring for alchemy. Just knowing how... After 6.5 years, seeing how like quickly they progress on systems. Because they did say they didn't think Trials would be this year at all. Well, Trials was going to be last year's big rework. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't assume it's going to be real quick. So, because other things can move into the priority list. Trials was going to be last year's big rework. And like they said that in the spring. But then about a month later, they changed their tune. Yeah, and everything was different. So then it became collections and guide quests, and that was like the collections revamp. And look how long that took. Took a long time. So yeah, I would have. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I get that. Yeah, the champion profiles have needed updated for a long time, and so I get it. And getting better information to play the game now. Yes, fantastic, absolutely. Adding new systems that may not, that we don't even know if they'll work yet or how they're going to work, and yeah, I get that that's behind on the priority wheel. So yeah, Bloody, I think we're going to be lucky if we see champion profile by the end of summer. I think it's going to be that could be the anniversary announcement. Like the anniversary big patch could be the new champion profile overhaul. Because remember, they plan things around, usually try to plan things around quarterly celebrations, and they usually like to have something that drops with the anniversary. So, yeah, Dupuy's supposed to talk this week about stuff. So, I don't know on what episode, I don't know if it's going to be on Dev Insight. Well, he doesn't come on Dev Insights. I don't know. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he comes to talk about, right? He's the one that would know the release schedule better than anybody. Collections took forever, not worth it. Well, I think the guide quests weren't worth it. And the collection system is... This information is something that people... You may not... Since you've started the game, you may not have heard people clamoring for it, but... People asked for this stuff starting in year 1. They wanted this info, and we finally got it. And I think it's great. I think it's great that it's here. It was a lot of work, clearly. The guide quests are the part that kind of fell flat, like really fell flat. Hey, Niskus. And where is Idle Champions Presents? They only announce Idle Champions Presents when it's time for Idle Champions Presents. I don't know. I mean, so. Okay, we need to start thinking about what our formation is going to be. We need to build like a pushing formation for Zariel, because, you know, these variants are going to start getting hard like this. Don't see how useful collections really is. Well, it's information. It's fronting information and tracking data, and a lot of people like that, especially in games like this. May not be for you, just like Champion Search wasn't really for me. Doesn't mean there isn't a big audience that wants it. People were asking forever to be able to see, like, well, a bestiary. We got questions forever. Like, can we get a bestiary in the game? I don't know that this delivered as well as I would have liked. I guess I like that there's unique art, but this isn't really what I was looking at. I think the UI is the problem. Achievement tracking is what it is. All the skins in the game, love it. All the feats in the game, people wanted to see that. I don't understand the time gate thing, but I guess, hey, data tracking is fine. It's fine. This is interesting. Actually, this may be the first time I've ever looked at this page. Huh. Total power level? What is... Huh. I'll have to look at this on my main account. I've never looked at that page before. But that's neat. Data here, sure. I mean, it's fronting data. People like data. People play these games to know, like, what have I done this? What about this? Blah, blah, blah. I think, again, I think some of this could be better. Having a journal that you could read outside of adventures was a big ask for a very long time. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's lots of stuff there that's valuable. It's just not valuable to everyone, but it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. Devik, that's how it is on Steam too, I think, right? The data, like that kind of fronted data, has always been garbage. For free-to-play games, specifically. Free-to-play games. Because on a free-to-play game, everyone does exactly what you should do. They add it to their library, they pull it up, they try it, they get into the tutorial, and they go, "Nah, this game isn't something I want to play," and they stop. But then they get counted towards those achievements. Everyone gets counted. Everyone that ever logs into the game once gets counted, and that screws up all that data. It makes it all absolute garbage. So it's not like it's better with a game that you purchase. Yeah, it makes more sense on a game you purchase, but for free-to-play games, the data from achievements tracking, like that's public achievement tracking, always garbage. Always absolute garbage. Because so many people will try the game because they'll get it. Hey, it's free stuff, and they pull it up and they log in to see what it's like because they just got $100 worth of free stuff, and then they're like, "Well, yeah, I did, but I don't want to play this." Or they don't understand it. I mean, the tutorial's okay, but maybe they're like, "No, I don't want to start this right now," and then they stop. And if they come back to it, great. If they don't, give up on this game twice at least. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Infinite. But it's totally okay for a free-to-play game to not be for everybody. I would rather people try a game out and go, "No, that's not for me," and move on, than to stick around and be like, "This game sucks" all the time, constantly in the community. I don't know why I play this. This game's horrible. And there's people that do that. I wish they'd leave. But yeah. Took me a minute to figure out where you were. I skipped a lot of this. Really? You skipped a lot of it? Alright. Vernus is kind of the first, I would say, a really important campaign. Because there's so much good stuff you can get from it, right? Like, you complete the storyline, you unlock trials, and you unlock Zariel. There's an evergreen there in Rhea. But then it's the biggest batch of efficient patron variants, which is what we're doing right now. So lots of patron progress without a lot of work can be had right here. Haven't got no trials yet? After 4 years? What are you doing? Come on. Like, trials is what's going to let you... trials basically makes the whole rest of the game easy. And yeah, it's just one run a day. Trials is one run a day. Not like a grind or anything. I recommend what order to go with. Yeah, it's in my new player reference. So yeah, you're doing the thing. Dritz, and then Azaka, and then Dragon Bait's right after Azaka and Tomb, and then after that you'll go to Waterdeep. Well, after that you might want to take a detour back to Sword Coast to complete... Well, no, we go to Waterdeep, qualify for Vajra. Might then want to take before you try to get Okori, you might want to take a detour back to Sword Coast to qualify for Strahd, and then come back and do Waterdeep, and yeah. It's all in the new player. Oh, we're in a map, right? Yeah. TLDR that when we get back. There aren't any back-to-back events. You know. where to... Okay. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, we didn't... I forgot. I was like, I gotta build a damage group, and then I didn't build a damage group. Okay. Damage group, go. Carla. Get in here and hit things real hard and with a hammer, please. If you would. Then I think we were doing the Duke. Raven, guard. In the tank line. And then I was being silly. And I was only having one tank in the front line. I was bringing in Strong Art, too. I don't know what the good numbers are for him. It should be fine. Let's get a feed in. Specializations. Sure. And Iron. Push. Boom. Way more damage. Look at that. Look at that. Just destroy Lucille. Absolutely wrecked. Much better. So TLDR Infinite, use the new player reference. It's got everything you need there. Game runs so many back-to-back events. Events were every 3 weeks before, and there would be a 10 day or 12 days of an event or something. I don't remember. 10 days of an event, and then there'd be no event, and then there'd be an event, I guess. Now there's one a month. It still could be back to me, depending on how the month is set up. It runs for 3 weeks. First Wednesday of every month they start now, so I don't know. But you're not constantly doing the event stuff. Like, well, now, especially not now, because you're not grinding. Before you used to have grind free plays and stuff, or gear, and you don't have to do any of that now. You have to do the tiers, but I think it's way easier than the free play grind. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really gonna, not doing trials is basically gonna make it harder for you to do the higher end content eventually. So legendary stats going double every upgrade really feels like not much else matters. I mean, well, other things do matter, but that is the biggest source of power you can have on your account is your legendary effects. A supercharged Modron core could be second, and then, and then your champions come after that. But that's for late game, mid to late mid game, and then into the late game. Right? Done having a meeting about meetings. That's about as nonsensical as a donut made of donuts. Donut. I don't know. That's not going to be a thing. Yeah. Somebody's probably got a picture of it. Is a donut made? Hold on. Donut made a donut. Someone done it? I mean, they might have. No, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. All right, good. Because I wouldn't put it past somebody to make a donut out of donuts. I actually think that might be a great way to present a bunch of donuts all at once as a donut made out of donuts. That could actually be a pretty neat presentation. But donuts. Yeah, back to Homer Simpson. Donuts. I think you're talking about seasons. in seasons, sometimes there were dragon scales as rewards, but there weren't a lot. Yeah. Well, but that's not a donut made of donuts, Lydia. That's a donut made of donut holes. It's two different things. Those weren't events. We got to use the right terms because the game has events. It also had seasons. And yeah, seasons were a back-to-back thing. But again, you didn't even have to. I think a lot of people approach seasons wrong. You didn't have to. Seasons didn't need to be a grind. They could be passive accrual. You could just go do other things. I do not miss seasons. I don't think. I guess some people liked the quests. I don't know. Y'all people, what? The rewards were good. They were great. Way too good, and that's why they went away. Because they were literally killing the game. Seasons have retired to a farm upstate. And hopefully they stay there. I don't think we're going to finish everything, even with that 15-minute potion, because I forgot to switch over to the power group. That was my bad. Messed myself up. Oh, well. And now I'm getting my just desserts. Oh, it's just it's dessert related stuff stream today, folks. Well, I guess donuts aren't a dessert. It's a breakfast food, right? Come on, you can do it. Oh, they killed our non-tank. Oh, yeah, and then they killed the other non-tank. That's what happens. Get out of here. One more hit, thank you. Do we have, yes, okay. Like, we have the power. Oh, I forgot to switch it, but that's fine. Took all that time to pipe out the speed, but because it didn't have the same power, it's just not delivering. Coming close to leveling up to 6, which is not helpful. I mean, it is off in this direction. We would pick up a Wisdom 13 increase. Don't care, really. Where else would we get? We would get, oh, there's a damage one up here, but we'd be splitting here, which is a problem. We just need more pipes. We're at that point where we just need more pipes. That's, yeah, Picomans, that's exactly. They even came out and said that basically seasons were killing the game. Like they weren't making any money. And, they sold a lot of season passes and didn't sell anything else. I told you to yield. Every champions perform at least 20 attacks against an enemy that is stunned by a single use of Strongheart's ultimate. Nice. But yeah, they came out and said that straight up on Dev Insights. I'm not locked in a food truck again, like a writer, but we started talking about, we had a Homer Simpson reference earlier, and then dessert, and then donuts came up, and well, I brought donuts up, and then suddenly now we're talking about donuts. I prefer, Plume Bob, I prefer bagels, if I'm being honest, to donuts. I always have, and yet, like, man, I had supervisors that would bring donuts to meetings, and I'm like, honestly, one of these days, can we get bagels instead? And they were like, I mean, I guess we could. And I was like, way healthier. It's like, come on. If you're gonna give us food that doesn't just get us ramped up and like bouncing off a thing and then drop us through the floor afterwards. Give us something that's actually, hey, decent. We still ended up getting donuts more often than not. I would prefer bagels. I would prefer bagels. I don't know that 15-minute potion is gonna. We'll see what happens. Why is that familiar or not? Why is that familiar or not coming out? Why do my familiars keep breaking? Why? Why? What the? Pixie, do your damn job. It won't let the pixie come out. Why is it not letting the pixie out? Oh my god. Restarting. Kind of donut springs to mind when you see or hear the word. For me, it's jam donuts. I can't handle donuts that have things in like that have. I can't handle filled donuts. Like if it's a jam or a custard, I don't like those at all. To me, a donut, just like what comes to mind with a donut, is just a glazed donut. It's a glazed donut. Just a straightforward glazed donut. It's the first thing that pops to mind. But all the rest of the stuff, I like maple bars, unless I like donuts, regular round donuts that have like maple on top of them, because then it's a donut, but it's a maple bar at the same time. But glazed donuts tend to be what I get. If I'm gonna get a donut, I get a glazed donut. Yeah, ring donuts, round donuts with a hole in the middle. That's what we're talking. That's what I'm talking about. That's a donut to me. Anything else is not a. I mean, they've got stuffed, filled, whatever. I don't know. Nope. Long John. Some people call maple bars Long Johns. I think some places, so sure. So it's the long rectangular thing, and it's got maple on top of it, maple frosting. But for me, anytime I end up trying to eat something that's been like usually it's like a vanilla custard filled one is what we'll see. There's just too much. Like the ratio of filling to donut is too much, and I'm like you got to get the proportions right, and I don't want it. Other people want tons of stuff in the middle there. I don't. Old-fashioned donuts are okay. I'm fine with like the old-fashioned cake donuts, but would prefer just a glazed. I've never heard them called Bismarcks, but maybe. Yeah, cream filled and jelly. I don't mind cake donuts. To me, the donuts without a hole, like it's just a round, and then they stuff it with some. To me, that's just a pastry. I don't know why. Like to me, a donut has a hole in it. Even a maple bar to me is a pastry, really. But Yeah. So, and yeah, that's, obviously it's a U.S. thing, but yeah. Well, not wrong kind of whole argument. Yeah, and again, to me, the only kind of frosting I like is I'll have I'll have maple. Like I like the maple glaze that they'll put on top of frostings, on top of donuts, round donuts. But that's because I like maple bars. But like the chocolate ones, too much. It's just too much for me. The pink Homer Simpson ones, don't really find it an enjoyable flavor. So, yeah, glazed or maple, that tends to be what I'm looking for. I don't mind like a powdered sugar. I don't mind. Now, when you get into like donuts, like Hostess has the bags of like donuts, which is a whole other thing. Those are like cake donuts. A good like chocolate donut is good, and the powdered sugar, the ones, that's fine. But that's a whole different. I don't consider those donuts really either. Like they call them donuts, and honestly, yeah, they're just tiny little cake things. From the Long John is long rectangle. Yeah. Well, Long John's gonna have different. That's what I'm thinking. Is Long John's is just a term for the rectangle, but the top, the what they put on top of it, I think determines then whether they say something else. Like so, the Long John with a maple frosting is usually just called a maple bar, and then you can get those filled too, but they don't have to be. And in fact, I've bought one before, and I bought a bit into it, and then it was filled with custard, and I was like, "Oh, like not what I was looking for." That was not the surprise that made me. That was not a surprise that made me happy. So yeah, it's probably part of the, depending on what part of the country you're in. Yeah, I've had Intamins, and I used to like try. I used to be like, well, I'm not going to have Hostess. I'm going to have Intamins. It's a higher quality. And then I ate them, and I was like, you know what? I'm going back to Hostess. But then I had some bad experiences with Hostess donuts, and I was like, no, not doing the Hostess anymore either. That's about the Dragon Age gameplay trailer dropped today. It's in our Discord, my Discord. I thought it looked good. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's nice when 2 out of 3 characters on the screen that they're showing off at the start are dwarves. So that gets my attention. But can I play as a dwarf, or is it only? There's the question: can I play as a dwarf, or are there just dwarves in my party? I mean, so at least there's dwarves in my party. We'll see what happens. I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't need to really watch the whole thing. I was like, well, does the gameplay look okay? Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, Mrs. Baird's? I haven't heard of it, but maybe. It doesn't mean I don't necessarily know everything. Yeah, no sketching hour tomorrow. Fortunately. So we'll have an extra hour over here. But lots of streams on Thursday. Yeah, I saw it was like custom appearance, but I just wasn't sure how how much they were going to let you customize it. And even the gameplay reveal, like they edited it so that there wouldn't be any real spoilers, which I thought was great. Like there's no actual game, it's really just kind of showing off some of it. Seemed to be just showing off some of the areas and some of the really basic stuff that they don't consider spoilers. Like, hey, somebody's trying to bring the veil down. Oh, it's this elven dude that used to be a god. Screw that guy, right? Like, I mean, there's, you know, that's kind of things that they figure should be understood. Kind of like Baldur's Gate 3. Hey, everybody's got freaking tadpoles in their brains. Like, it's kind of that kind of thing, it seems like. The basic premise of the game, as opposed to spoilered content. As opposed to spoilered content. Get wrecked, Yeenoghu. Yeah, I don't like to assume anything, Hawk. That's the thing. So I guess when they confirm that you can play as a dwarf, I'll be happier. I don't recall if I think I just played as whatever in the past ones. I don't recall. It's probably why I don't really not super attached to that franchise. Sean, thank you for 2 months with Prime. Much appreciated. It did. It did look like Deep Space Nine. Oh my god! I was like, why is that familiar? That looks really familiar. Why does it look familiar? That's Deep Space Nine. That makes so much more sense now. Oh, he stunned it with Strongheart. Come on, Strongheart, stun it again. Got him. Got him, coach. This is why I put the feet in... Oh no, I just have the crit chance. No. He has a feat. Target stunned for 2 seconds. You really just not gonna... Really? Who are you, Lucille? You picked a term victory. We need all of our ultimates back. That's what's going on. Lucille's got that cleave. You gotta wreck her before she gets to your party. Playing blacksmith contracts, I'm finally getting close to some maxing out. On who? Or what? What happens when so when you reach a cap, like at the top right hand, 10 out of 501, then the items, blacksmithing contracts and dupes won't ever drop on that item again. They'll then distribute between the rest of them. So they skip it. 20,000 corrupted gems. Any recommendations on what I should snag? Check for feats that are functional. Like if you have Diana, if you have Diana, then she's got a feat that qualifies her for Strahd, and I think that's worth picking up. Your judgment on some of the other stuff, but usually the recommendation is support pigments. Support pigments are never a waste. Like it's always great. But the way the Thayan Enclave works is the GEs, the Golden Epic cards, and the skins will end up for cash and wild offers in the future. Whereas the feats will be made available for gems just like any other feat. It just takes like 3 months from the point when they leave the shop, I think. 3 to 6 months. So it could take a little while. So, you know, if there's something you want to get, it's basically they're giving you an opportunity to pick up stuff that maybe would normally be cash. Like I got both of the pirate skins, because of course I did on my main account. Hell yeah. I even did here. You got Pirate Azaka and Pirate Diana. But you know, that's not really power, that's just fun. But the pigments are the best general overall source of power. Don't ever buy chests. Occasionally there's a really good feat that you want to get right away, like that Diana Int feat. Occasionally there's a really good golden epic, but those are rare. Those are rare. Okay, we got everything back. Just trying to ramp up as much damage as I can so we can beat the crap out of Lucille. I'm going to throw a 5-minute click damage potion on. 245 on damage. Jeez. She's a beast. Cardlock's a beast. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. Next. Okay.